Oh, my friends, if you never do anything else for Professor Bowman, I am begging that you listen to this carefully. I have a lot of students, not as many as I normally have, but I have a lot of students, and I cannot explain this 100 times, re-explain this 100 times. So please, please listen to this video. Take notes from the video. Understand what I am asking you to do. And then I will set appointments, and you'll be able to call in and we can talk. But I need the majority of you to truly understand what we are doing. When I say that we are doing a group project, when I say the word the assignment in the journal entries, when I say the signature assignment, I am referring to this group project, not assignment one, not anything else. I am referring to the group project, also known as the signature assignment. Now, what's a signature assignment? It is an assignment that touches on several different learning goals, several different skills, several different subjects. So we will be working on this project, for the entire semester, and it will culminate with everyone taking some part, having some individual part. So it is very helpful if you will carry your load in your group. But if the people in your group are not communicating with you, you can still get all of your points. How are points accumulated in this assignment? There are several ways. One of them is actually participating on group day. And you will notice that I have 2 days of lecture, 1 day of group on the syllabus up until chapter 4. And chapter 4, I will have several lecture days or exercise days, and then we'll have the midterm. Then after the midterm, after spring break, then we'll go back to that pattern, 2 days of lecture, 1 day of group, until we actually have our final presentations. I'm just going to say the word presentations. Okay, let me let you look at the signature assignment. I will also put this in the folder. I'm going to explain the assignment first, and then I will explain what I need you to do. So the assignment is a pretend court hearing. And I say very carefully, hearing. This is not a trial. There will be no witnesses. There will be no objections. It is going to be very easy to do this asynchronously because everybody is just going to be talking. So, what is our pretend case? Our pretend case is an issue that I just made up. So this may have happened somewhere, but I just made it up out of my head. And remember that my background is in law. So the assignment will last the entire semester. It will culminate in an oral hearing. And there will be milestone assignments. Namely, those are signing up for your group, doing assignment 2, and then doing journal entries after every group day. So, I have switched it up a little bit because this is much easier to explain when we are face to face. But instead of us being in a group and having one person from each category in the group, I am going to ask you to actually sign up for the role that you are going to play in this assignment. Remember, this is pretend. So when I ask you what your role is, it is going to be one of 7 things. These are the 7 categories. Students, attorneys for the students, school president, attorney for the school president. So that's 4 people. Then a representative from the American Civil Liberties Union, or ACLU for short. So that's 5. 6 is the Family Research Council. It's another interest group. And the 7th category is judge. Judge. Okay? So you will, on the first group day, sign up in Sign Up Genius, and I'll show you that, Sign Up Genius, for which of these categories you're going to be in. So you will know on the first day and can put in the journal what your group is. And then that way, if somebody drops, we know we have other people in that category to do the work. All right. So first things first, you will sign up for student president, the attorney for the student, attorney for the president, ACLU, Family Research Council, or judge. Let me tell you what the difference is. The student, and I guess I need to explain the whole scenario, so let me open the brief. And again, this is something I just made up. The brief explains our pretend case. The case in the project is one where a student named Sam Student, and I picked that name because it is a unisex name. Any gender can be named Sam. So Sam Student basically entered a contest at his or her community college. And Sam Student entered a political cartoon, or Sam Student entered a controversial political article, right? And what happened in this contest, and several schools had the same contest, and this happened at several schools. That is not uncommon in court cases. Lots of times, cases will be joined where the same thing happens several places, and they'll join the cases together to make a decision. If you've ever heard of the Brown versus Board of Education of Topeka, Kansas, the Brown in that case was Linda Brown, but there were 4 other cases that were joined with that case, but they give it one name. Okay, so Sam entered the contest, and the contest was enter this cartoon or art article. The winner will get a position on the school newspaper. The cartoon or article will be published in the school newspaper. The student will receive $250 as a prize. So it's those 3 things. You get to be on the staff. You get to have your product published, and you win $250. Great stuff. Congratulations, Sam. But once Sam won, and they said, congratulations, we're going to give you your money, you're going to be on the staff, and we're going to publish your work, the school president at these different colleges, so school presidents at the different colleges, jumped in and said, there is no way that this is going to be published in our school's newspaper. So this is a freedom of the press and freedom of speech issue. Because basically the principal, or not principal because it's not high school, the college president, and it's very important to separate that it's not high school, the president of the college was censoring, was doing something that is called prior restraint. This is a First Amendment case. And the only rules were that just remember that the student code of conduct applies. So, whatever the student code of conduct says, you have to make sure that you stay within that. But those were all of the rules. And so the student didn't get their money, didn't get their position, didn't get their work published, and they were upset. He or she, Sam, was upset on all these different campuses, so they sued the school. So you understand that this is made up. This is the project. The project is working our way through and building the skills to get ready for a hearing on the case of the community college president censoring Sam students' work. The many Sam students' work. So students, if you sign up to be a student, you absolutely, positively are also signing up to make a political cartoon. Assignment 2 is drawing a political cartoon or writing an article. And it would be an article that is aimed at a college audience that is about a political topic, a controversial political topic. So if you go to Sign Up Genius and you pick student, then you need to be prepared to do a cartoon or an article and to make a video at a later date explaining your cartoon, what it means, why you drew it that way, or your article, the point you were trying to make, you need to be able to explain it and defend it. So if you are signing up for the student, know that you absolutely positively have to do a cartoon or an article. So, of course, the attorneys are going to be representing the students. Now, you have the attorneys for the students, and they are going to be arguing that the students' rights were taken away by the actions of the president. You're going to be talking about school cases and what cases say about schools. You're going to be talking about the student code of conduct and how this is not a violation of the student code of conduct and the president should not be doing this. Those are the arguments for the attorney for the student. The attorney for the president will actually, in the end up making a video. So attorney for the students will be making videos on GoReact. Attorneys for the president will be making videos on GoReact, arguing the opposite, that the president had to do this. The president didn't have any other choice. The president has discretion. The president has to protect students. It's a harder argument. Really, you have to do some thinking. And so if you are a person that can see both sides, or you are someone that really does ascribe to the authoritarian point of view, then you would want to sign up for the attorney for the president and make those alternate, the president had to arguments. All right? In my estimation, it's more challenging. Then you have the ACLU representatives. Now, ACLU stands for American Civil Liberties Union. And the American Civil Liberties Union is an existing group, and their whole job, their whole existence is a phalanx of attorneys who seek to protect Americans' civil liberties. They fight for civil liberties, basically the things that are guaranteed to us in the Bill of Rights: freedom of speech, freedom of press, no cruel and unusual punishment, no unfair search and seizures. The things that are guaranteed in the Bill of Rights, that American citizens is not taken away. Sometimes people love the American Civil Liberties Union. They file suit to make sure that children were reunified with their parents when they were separated as part of the Homeland Security and immigration policy. But they also will file suit if they think that someone that is on death row is being treated unfairly. They will also defend white supremacists' right to say what they want to say. So sometimes the people that they defend are very popular, and what they are defending is very popular, and sometimes it's not, because all the American Civil Liberties Union cares about is civil liberties. Now, a lot of times people classify them as liberal, and some of them are. But really, when they get in there and fight for somebody that's in the Ku Klux Klan, not to be put in jail because of something they said, that doesn't seem very liberal to me. But, then there is the Family Research Council. And by the way, the American Civil Liberties Union will be making arguments on behalf of the students. So you'll have the students' attorneys making arguments, and you'll have the ACLU making arguments for the student. For the presidents, I had a hard time with this one, but I finally decided that the attorneys for the presidents and the Family Research Council would argue on behalf of the presidents. Family Research Council is a group of Christian leaders that work on political issues. Christian leaders that work on political issues. So if you go to their website, the Family Research Council is going to have a lot of Christian leaning language. And then they're going to state their position on several things. I am asking those that sign up to be Family Research Council to argue that it is morally wrong for the student to publish that cartoon or article. Basically to argue on behalf of the president, but just argue it from moral grounds. I have had some pretty cool Family Research Council speeches in the past. Usually there's some scriptures thrown in there. You can have a lot of fun with it. You don't have to spend a lot of time. You can, but you don't have to spend a lot of time on cases. You're going to be making moral arguments. Got to do some brain flipping, and maybe not. But just tell us what the Christian Bible says about obeying or something like that. It can be a lot of fun. It can be a lot of fun. And it's all pretend. This is all pretend. So the judges are going to come up with questions for the attorneys and the the interest groups that will actually be speaking. Normally in life, they wouldn't be speaking; they would just be writing a brief. But we're gonna have them speak, asking questions that they need to answer when they make their video. And the judges will put forth questions that need to be addressed when each group makes their videos, and the judges will decide which side won. There's only two sides, the student side and the president side. They'll decide which side won, or they will decide individual, like this one will allow to be published and this one we won't, and this is why. So they have to articulate what their decision is and why they made that decision. All right. So I have divided the class up into basically there's one slot for every student. So if your combined class has 34 students, then there are 34 slots. And you'll get an email to sign up in Sign Up Genius. And there will also be a link. I'll show you one in one of my classes. There will be a link to Sign Up Genius in the folder. So here we'll look. This is week of 125 as an example. And 127, it is the group day. And there is the Sign Up Genius with the categories. Let's go to it so that you can see what it looks like and what you should expect to see. So you will pick the group and you will sign up. Pick the group and you will sign up. It tells you how many slots there are for each one, and then you sign up. Now, remember that I forgot to tell what school presidents will do. So the school presidents will be the project managers. They will make sure that that all of the attorneys get the ACLU and Family Research Council get the questions from the judges. When everybody makes their videos, then the school presidents will write a summary of this is what this group said, this is what this group said. It's going to be very helpful for assignment 5, where you have to say where it asks you who made the best arguments for the student attorneys, who made the best arguments from the ACLU. And so school presidents won't make videos. They'll be writing summaries of the arguments that will be published to the whole class. So the students will have to speak because they're going to have to explain their artifacts, their cartoon or article. The attorneys will have to speak. They'll be making the arguments on behalf of their pretend client, either the student or the president. The interest group representatives will make a video because they will be defending or arguing on behalf of the students in the case of the ACLU and the presidents in the case of the Family Research Council. So the only group that does not make a video of some type are the school presidents. They will not speak. They will be managing the project and making sure that it goes. So you pick. If the slots are all full, then you're going to have to pick something else. Know that if you are, there's going to be basically 2 versions of assignment 2. One of them is you can draw a political cartoon or write an article, a newspaper article for a school newspaper. And one of them is you can review a case and tell whether or not you agree with that case. Students must draw a cartoon or write an article. Anybody else can pick. You do one of the two. You either do the summary of a case, or you can draw a cartoon or write an article. So you get to pick. If you decide not to do a summary of a case, there will be many other opportunities to do that. So it's not a huge deal. Okay. So what I have eliminated from before that was really confusing was that students were in one group and then they would pick a cartoon. Everybody did a cartoon, and they would pick one for each group, and that would be what the attorneys would be arguing. And then at some point I would switch everybody to the groups where they were only with judges and only with students, but they came from other groups. And in retrospect, I can see how that could be very confusing. So I am skipping that step. We are going directly to, this is your group. Your role is your group. So that's what we're doing. I think, as I'm looking at this, that I am going to switch the judges to 4 and the attorneys for the presidents to 3 in this class, just in case. Always want to have a odd number, and just in case, we want to make sure that we have enough judges in case somebody doesn't want to do their job. So that is the signature assignment. Read through what I have written and read the brief where I have several cases and several arguments in our scenario, and I have talked for much longer than I intended. In our scenario, the student sued, the student lost in district court and appealed the case to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. And so the student's name goes first because they're the ones that appealed. So if you really, really think about it, we're going to be talking about court procedures. We're going to be talking about legal arguments. We are going to be talking about the First Amendment, freedom of press and freedom of speech, and prior restraint and censorship. We are also going to be looking at critical thinking. We're going to be looking at teamwork because you should be helping each other out. So we are addressing several different skill sets and topics. Skill sets and topics with this assignment. All right. Look for the link in your class to the Sign Up Genius. I'll also click on a button and it should send you a Sign Up Genius link to your email as well because I've uploaded my rosters. And then I will also start setting appointments for you guys to speak with me. And if you have any other questions, feel free to get one of those appointments and I will try to clarify anything else or anything about the class. All right? Woo! Sorry it was so long. I was shooting for 15 minutes.